and do this as a bonus episode. We've been speaking for how long now? About 20 minutes. And yeah. Yeah. So the project, so the Wikipedia project, for reference for people that are recording, we've just gone through Wikipedia and spoken about it for a bit. Yeah, so obviously the Wikipedia project and updating the health and fitness stuff, because the health and fitness pages on Wikipedia are okay. They're not great, but they're okay. And as like you've just seen with the testing effect, there is so much research out there that is hidden in Google Scholar ResearchGate, and people just don't see it. And for some stupid reason, people love to go to Instagram. So they go to Instagram and they go like, oh yeah, look, they look great, I'm going to do what they do. And they're probably taking either like drugs, or they're genetically beneficial in some way, or they spent most of their life doing sport or activity or going to the gym, and most people ain't doing that shit. So I kind of want a normal person's sports advice channel. I don't like the word advice, but I'm basically just like dumping the science in there for people that are interested to either keep themselves somewhat healthy, however that's defined, through Wikipedia. Then the PhD project's obviously a bit of a task thing, working with that. And because the PhD is sports science related, I can tie in basically all of my PhD with the Wikipedia projects. So my research can be distributed around Wikipedia. For example, the knowledge page has part of my proposal in it, because it's part of my PhD. And then the other project is in the, I'm going to say sports science field, because it is mainly sports science. There are research reviews, research digests of papers. Basically, researchers going into the research and reading it and then giving a summary. MASS is, I can't remember what it's called, but MASS, MASS, is Stronger by Science. Stronger by Science is the business, and MASS is a review of about 15 papers a month, I think, from 4 different people, basically going through the sports science world and reviewing these papers and trying to bring some sort of cohesive summary to all the stuff. But that's all sports science, like in the physical sense. So it's like exercise physiology, nutrition, lifting, that sort of stuff, S&C. And then what's it, Science for Sport, I think. They have like a sports digest, and they claim it's for coaches, but it's essentially the same thing as MASS, but extremely, I'm going to say dumbed down. Like MASS give you like a 3-4 page written piece on the article. So they explain the article, but also relate it to all the other research. And they do an actual cohesive dive on it. Whereas the Sports Digest basically say, this is what they studied. This is the results. This is like a paragraph of comments or 2 paragraphs of comments, next paper. I'm like, cool, I could have just read the abstract. Why do I need to read this digest? But again, it's all strength and conditioning, like movement, that sort of stuff. I am yet to have found what I would class as sports coaching review digest, where it goes into biomechanics, skill acquisition, sports coaching, so the psychosocial effects, and psychology, like sports psychology. I can't find one. Maybe I haven't looked enough into them, but I can't find one. The closest thing I found is the UK coaching review, which is okay, but they've done like one every 4 months, and they do like 10 papers, and it's very similar to the Sports Digest in that here's what they studied, this is what they found, here's the rest of the page as a brief with lots of fun images and stuff. I'm like, I personally, I understand the whole image thing and making it look fun and look fancy, but personally, I don't give a shit if you've put an amazing image next to the article. If you're talking crap, I ain't reading it again. And that's what I found with Science for Sports infographics and stuff. They share infographics on Instagram. I'm like, cool, that looks like a great infographic. But you go into the science, and they basically give you a sentence from the abstract and then reference the paper. I'm like, that it's just so removed from the paper that it's also obviously helpful for those that just want like the snippets. But for any researcher, it's just like a so what? You know what I mean? I
It's
obviously
kind of
I'm
like, sounds like you're kind of going in between the two.
in between the two of.
Like you've got the really deep, over researched, lots of like manual research, so to speak,
Hmm.
and then the snippets. You're kind of sounds like you're trying to find a bit in the middle.
I prefer the so I wouldn't say mass is over research. I would say it's just well done. It's
Over
well written.
summarized, probably the better word I meant.
Yeah, I wouldn't say mass market themselves as a summary, but I
Mm.
wouldn't say they're a traditional summary. I
Hmm.
would say they're a cohesive summary. Like it's not a I will just have a look at this page and leave. It's I need to actually read and think about this page, which kind of relates to the content conversation I was having the other day. You can make content on whatever platform, but if you require the person to think, it's not going to do well in market because people don't like thinking. People are lazy. Um, it's just the way we are. It's just the way humans are. Uh, and I think a research digest, should be for the people that want to think. Right? If you want a summary, go look at literally any other platform, like Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, any blog, podcast from any top creator or researcher. Just look at research, and you'll get a summary. Just read a couple of abstracts and understand what's going on. Uh, and people that don't really care that much can do that. That's why the review channels of medicine are so popular. It's, hey, look, I reacted to this thing on Instagram or TikTok or Reddit, and this is what I think. Great. People consume that stuff all the time. Loads of people consume that stuff. Do they learn anything? No. But they consume it and they feel like they've learned something, so great. But the people that actually want to learn something will go into the references and realize on YouTube videos, oh, wait, you haven't referenced anything. Great. I'll go do my own research anyway. Or they go to research digests, which some of them are just bare, which, I mean, I realize I'm speaking for a very small, small subset of humans. But us small nerdy people that care about the research, we want a summary of something, but then want it applied to something rather than us having to do all the work ourselves. Like if you've done the research and you've been in the field for however long, tell me about it, talk about it, rant about it, say something. I love reading papers where the author has read the paper, kind of like a book club, a journal club, as it were. They've read the paper, they've gone, okay, that's cool. I don't agree with this. I don't agree with this. This is a load of rubbish. And all of this has been actually done over here way better, but I do like this, that, and the other. It's a critical review of the paper rather than just summarizing it. Because if I wanted a summary, I go to an abstract. Again, I'm ranting. Like I swear I spent the last 40 minutes just different rants. Like I started recording because you said start recording, and all I've done is ranted.
I'm just enjoying
Yeah,
the rant.
literally, we got on the call. I ranted about something, and then I stopped myself. Then I ranted about something else, and then I stopped myself. Then I ranted about something else. I stopped myself, and then you said we should record this, and I've ranted about something else,
Then you stop yourself.
and now I'm ranting about ranting. God,
A rant.
yeah. Oh. But yeah, do you have any thoughts to share on that, or am I just like ranting into the ether?
No, I mean, for one, I agree with everything you're saying. Oh, whatever, camera. I agree with what you're saying completely. I think it's also a matter of scope. People who could do that, like yourself, who are fortunate enough to be able to do what you do, where you can go nuts and research. It's like I'm just sat here going, what could I do? And it's like what I'm doing is what I can do. Like having conversations like this is all some people can do. And so for me, there's a side of like, for people who can do more research, do more. But also there's the flip side of like, if you can't, then just hold more conversations. ask more questions. Which kind of goes back to what I say with clients is just like always ask why, start asking more questions, because often the questions you have can take you into some really cool places.
Mm.
And I
And
think it's
I was going to say, I think that's okay. I think that's, I had to check what I can say because recording. With the Wikipedia talk page, I think that is where people miss a trick. If people do become active on pages, and like you can check who's actually like editing a page. Like if you go into Wikipedia stats, you can actually see who has done the most edits on a page, who has put like the most words on the page, most characters on the page, and you can then go into their profile and directly like leave a message on their talk page, or just talk in the page, which is why I like Wikipedia for research. And if there were to be more academics, more researchers editing pages, you then have easier access to who's doing what. And yeah, so what you could do, trying to like weave my way around, what you could do with like in future, if people were actively editing, it's if there are researchers top of field doing the research and they're editing the page, you'll be able to see what research groups are active, so that person can edit the Wikipedia page. You go to their profile and then you can see all the other things that they've edited, all the other things that they're working on, and potentially even look at them through like something to find out all the papers they've done and all the content they've made. Yeah.
he's not being subtle.
Yeah, it was a conversation I had yesterday and I can't talk about it like at all, but there's so many things in so many places and I'm like, so basically people are doing what I wanted people to do for a while, and I'm like buzzing about it. And Wikipedia is just like one side of stuff that's just easy to talk about, but there's elements of Wikipedia that are irritating, and some people are solving that issue, and I'm like, yeah.
But you can't talk about that.
Not on camera, no.
Okay, cool. So I get to hear more things. Haha, sucks to be you guys.
You actually record the episode that we're meant to be recording.
Yeah, why not? I don't even know what the episode is.
Using the right tool for the job. I'll probably put this up as a bonus on YouTube. So I've got the other bonus ones still in like prelude thing, so I'll dump it in the middle of the week. So cool. People that are subscribed on YouTube can get a random bonus episode whenever we talk about something that's random.